I am Wim Vandekeybus. I am the artistic director of Ultima Vez, which is a dance company in Brussels, which exists since 1987, and we made, like now I'm busy, the 28th piece directly. What the body does not remember, it's the very first show I made. I knew something of performance, but never studied it in school. So I wanted to make a show which was about the instincts, about the reflexes. And I felt that there was a lot of, in dance, where people do as if, where the beauty gets shown for the beauty, and where the reality was a bit out of the movement. And I was fascinated by what the body has to do without having a choice, where the survival instinct almost has to come back to the stage. So the whole evening is based on this idea of what the body has to do to find its way out. Of course, we live in cities, people go all together, but less and less contact is there. Sometimes people go out working between millions of people, come home and say nobody touched me. So for us it was also research what is touching each other, how people get contact without that it's connected to affection or love. So we researched a lot of these things, and we came to a kind of repetitive frisking scene where people repeat something very dry in what an emotion can come. What the body does not remember was, for me, it was my first piece. So there were a lot of things we didn't know. And because of this, it had a very rough structure. We had to organize things, we had to invent a kind of language. It's like we have these dances between man, woman, where it is based on attraction, repulsion, which is very close to a tango. But of course, we were 23 years old. We said, if we want to do a tango scene, maybe we have to go 15 years to Argentina. And the Argentinians will still laugh at us and say, this is not a tango, it's not good. So we said, let's invent something new, which has our language in 6 months, and which can be very sparkling and very, very, very passionable and very energetic. Some people call it violence. I don't call it violence. I think it's direct, but it goes far. And we had to invent these codes, what we did. And because of this, we created something which was new. Like sometimes when you have to do something that breaks the system, or it's out of innocence, but you feel, and then you do something new, or it's out of rebelling against something else. Here it was more, maybe a bit both. Like I didn't want to do that. If we do it now, we have dancers who are well trained. So the first thing we had to learn was also they had to forget to be a dancer and not to dance the bricks. They had to do the thing, and they had to be dry. Even if the next day they have to do a piece which is much more dancey. The music of What the Body Does Not Remember, it was from the beginning I wanted to work with 2 composers. They came to the creation to look what we were doing. So when they saw us looking frisking, Thierry started to construct tambourines with skin on and to make sounds who were like this, to have percussion, to not blow in the saxophone a note, but to speak in it, to breathe in it, to do different things who are very connected to what we do. The table music, we made it with Thierry, who was himself saying, I do this, what can you do? So we made a language, what means this? Peter, he was analyzing, if you throw a brick, it goes fast and it slows down, it hangs and then it accelerates again. And he was transferring the curve that it made to notes. How it was, and then he came to with clarinets, how 3 stones fly. The physicality of the music, you feel it, you can't refuse it, it's there. It's not music that is just glued on, it's made for that, and that's the great thing, I think.